As a user of Twitter for the past few years, I've seen a number of incriminating tweets or pictures posted, and it's always made me wonder, is it possible to be arrested because of a tweet? And if so, what does the policing of social media look like right now, and where is it heading in the future? The answer is yes, and it may be easier to be arrested for a tweet than you think. Police have began tackling the new environment of social media crime over the past few years, and have already made great strides. In a country where 77% of the people are using social media, including people like our president who may use Twitter too much, we're beginning to see more connections between the real world and the online realms of social media. Unfortunately, along with any community comes those who choose to pursue criminal activity, and social media is no different. From 2008 to 2012, the number of crimes related to social media in the U.S. rose 780% in 4 years. 2012 police figures show there were 4,908 reports in which Facebook and Twitter were a factor, compared with only 556 in 2008. We're not the only country progressing with online policing either. In 2010, arrests for offensive Facebook and Twitter posts began to soar in London, with 625 arrests in only 1 year. The main issue stemming from this policing of tweets is that a lot of the time, police will be seeing these posts completely out of context, and that's led to some interesting cases where the wrong people have been arrested. A 16-year-old in Australia was on his way to a Pink concert, and he was a little too excited to see his favorite artist perform her song, Time Bomb. He tweeted something that sounded a little bad out of the context. "At Pink, I'm ready with my bomb. Time to blow up #Rod Laver Arena. Bitch." The teen was grabbed by officials at the concert who recognized him from his Twitter profile picture, and he was held in questioning for nearly 4 hours until his father came and picked him up. Another example would be when a man named Paul Chambers realized his flight might be delayed due to a snow forecast, and he sent out a tweet in frustration that he would want to blow up the airport sky high if this flight was delayed. He was arrested 2 days before his flight, and he said he was never expecting the airport to see his tweet or really take it seriously. Still, probably not the best idea to tweet about blowing up an airport. Some more serious threats that were tweeted and found by police include a number of shooting threats, one of which was against former President Barack Obama. This man's tweet wrote, "I'ma hit President Obama with that Lee Harvey Oswald swag." He wrote, referencing John F. Kennedy's killer. His tweet was followed by a number of other violent posts which he referenced assault rifles and assassinating the president, and thankfully he was arrested later that night. Several protesters were also arrested for using Twitter. However, they were using their tweets in a much different manner. On a number of accounts, they had tweeted out the location of police around the city as a way to organize protesters. Using this strategy, they were always one step ahead of the police, and many of the protesters were able to completely escape without being arrested. Twitter is definitely not the only social media site struggling with this problem. A lot of other sites are struggling as well, including Twitch, the online streaming community, and it was attacked by a number of internet trolls a few years ago who started a prank known as swatting. This included targeting a specific streamer and finding their home address, then calling the police and reporting hostages were being held at that location, or at least something to that extent. Then they would sit at home and laugh as they watched these streamers raided live on camera by SWAT teams. Unfortunately, something that started as a prank led to the death of a 28-year-old Wichita man when police raided the wrong house. The SWAT team was allegedly called after a gamer lost a wager with another gamer over less than $2. Looking for revenge in the real world, the loser of the wager match called authorities and told them the other man was holding hostages inside of his house. The teen, however, made a mistake when finding the man's address and sent the police to the wrong home, where they ended up killing the homeowner. The 2 teens involved went on to face federal charges. Many people are against the policing of social media posts and believe they cause a lot of unnecessary trouble, but the repercussions of missing these threatening posts can be even more harmful. The woman who shot and injured multiple employees at the YouTube headquarters before taking her own life in April of this year had a troubling past of videos criticizing YouTube that could have been used to predict the oncoming shooting. Some more recent instances include the synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh. After the shooting, police found the suspect's social media account on a website named Gab, on which he targeted Jewish users with anti-Semitic remarks. Using his follower list, police also found a separate suspect who was charged with illegal gun possession, and now the website Gab has been entirely shut down. One of the most infamous cases of social media warnings is Nicholas Cruz, the shooter who took the lives of 17 children and adults at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. On his social media profiles, he hurled slurs at blacks and Muslims and had ties to white supremacists. He said he would shoot people with his AR-15 and singled out police and the anti-fascist protesters as deserving of his vengeance. Just 5 months before the attack, he stated his aspirations to become a professional school shooter. Somehow these posts went unnoticed until after the shooting. To begin narrowing the number of mistakes that stem from social media policing, law enforcement has been trying a number of new methods, one of them being reaching out to private companies that collect data from social media sites. This data was initially meant to be sold to advertising companies but is now being repurposed to help police find crime trends. For example, sites like Statagram and Instamap are now being used to help law enforcement analyze photo trends or collect photos on individuals in targeted areas. Overall, the relationship between social media and law enforcement is a tricky situation that has seen plenty of trial and error in the past few years. With each year, though, we move closer to a solution in which users can comfortably use their social media without fear, and threatening users can easily be found and stopped by police.